This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Alrighty, Lionel with you. By the way, I was just telling Noam Laden, he knows who's getting in here later and later 45 today. It's getting in later and later. But we're talking about, have you ever been on any kind of a movie or a TV show where you played either yourself or you? Have you ever done that before? And because I was talking to Noam, and apparently there was that one movie in Tijuana, which was a long time ago, but he was a young man, doesn't really count. But I was in the House of Cards in an episode with Robin Wright. Was it with Kevin Spacey? Forget it, he's dead. But I went to Baltimore, and I did it. And I was driving back with these real actors. And they said, well, have you acted before? I said, no, this is my first one. Oh, really? What do you do? I said, well, I do a talk show and stuff, but I do, because I played a talk radio host in this thing where I'm interviewing the First Lady. And there was one of the actors, I think he passed away, but I felt so stupid. He said, well, what did you do before? I said, I've never done anything before. And they were talking about this, and they were in this movie and that movie. I got the call sheet. I got this. I got the limo driver. I had a trailer, this big trailer. I was there like all day for this one scene. And she was very, very nice. And I walked in, and they had all of the notes, all of the lines that they changed like every 5 minutes, like right before, on cardboard on all the walls, kind of like Brando did. And I, of course, memorized, like an idiot, which is good, of course, I guess. But I don't know why this is funny, but to me it was funny. I asked the director, I said, because you ask the director, what do you want? And that's it. You just give them what they want. I said, may I tell you something? And I don't know what even motivated me to say this. I said, I'm playing a talk show host here. And see, anybody in the business would know this. I said, now, I should have cans, headphones on. I said, how am I talking to the people in the studio in there? Because she's not wearing headphones. She's the First Lady. She doesn't need them. And I'm not wearing headphones. Now, if they're telling me to cut or we're off the air, I can't hear them. And the director said, uh-huh. Okay, let's go. And he said, that was it. It's like, all right. And it was the weirdest thing where if you see it, it's like this would have never occurred. The control room had like 1 million people and they're walking around thinking, this is not real. Why wouldn't you want to just have something that kind of remember the old days, bad radio. For example, Frasier. Remember when they would do the talk show? And Frasier were how do I say this? The producer would say, Dr. Crane, on line 1, it's Yuri. All right. And she would announce the person. I think doesn't he have any software? Doesn't he have a screen? See who's next? Does he know who these people are? Maybe he wants to. It's like they don't do this. You ever notice on TV, whenever there's a computer, the clicking sound, but you'll see a screen that never exists, never, where they're tapping, abort mission, big letters, password fail, arm the nukes, just corny. If you go to Broadway, try to hear them close a door. Every time they close a door, it sounds weird because there's nothing connected to the door. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, like, the computer on any of the CSIs, when they would go to the computer,
yes,
and it's all slick,
yeah,
and the fonts are clear, and like you said, abort mission, it's got
right,
all these, and you're like, I've never come across that software ever.
And there'll be somebody who will be basically writing code. he's putting in so much input. I said, wait a minute, what is this system? He's like tapping away, clicking away, and typing away. I said, you shouldn't. This is not a good system. You should have like 3 letters, 4 letters. You don't want to spend your whole time. Now, what was that sequence again? LB. Let me get my code book. But it's one of those things that don't make any sense.
And I see a lot of that. Sometimes they'll have like a rapper, say, performing like in France or something.
Yeah.
And they're lip syncing.
Yeah.
So they have like a DJ, and other DJs will always point out that the equipment isn't plugged in. So you see the back of the equipment, and there's no plugs. There's no RCA cords. There's no power cords. There's nothing. And the DJ's moving his hands around or doing something that makes it look like they're doing something.
Don't you
and
think,
you go, wait a minute. It's not even plugged in. What are they doing?
Sometimes they will do this with bad lip syncing, with electric guitars aren't plugged in or anything. Yeah, remember the old, if somebody's looking through binoculars, you'll see that figure 8 look, but in real life, binoculars looks like a circles. It's like where are these? Tell us these binoculars that have that look to it. And here's one. This drives me crazy. When you're using a semi-automatic, 45, 380, whatever it is, and you're at the end of the clip, you fire, the slide goes back, and that's it. You don't go click, 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 click. It's not a revolver. It doesn't make any noise at all. It's empty. When I hear that click, click, it's like, where is this like 1911, some 45 that makes this clicking noise? I don't get it. It doesn't exist. My favorite is to watch. My friend is he was in the ER. He does trauma stuff. And we were watching one time something, and he kept stopping. He said, okay, see that machine right there? He says, you do what they just ordered? He said, he'd kill him. Ringer's locked. He goes, why are you doing that? Doesn't make any sense. Or they're saying something that has nothing to do with real life. Here's one for you, going back to courtroom, where they get up and they like lean into the jury. I've had judges say, if you get near a witness or a jury, if you get near them, it holds you in contempt. He says, get away, get away. You don't lean into them. You can't even get near them. One time I was watching, I couldn't believe it. It was called, I think was it Mississippi Burn? I don't know what it was. Kevin Spacey played the prosecutor. It might have been the one with Byron Della Beckwith. I don't know, but it was Kevin Spacey. Now, listen to this. He's doing closing arguments. They've all rested. This is it. Stage closed, case, the state's closed its case, or the federal government defense is rested. That's it. Now we go to the arguments. Done. No more witnesses, no more nothing. Now, final argument. After Kevin Spacey does his summation, at the end he says, the state rests. And I said, again? And it's like, why are you resting again? You had to have rested to get here. You're doing it again? Little things like that. Why did somebody say, no, it's not. Maybe 4 people in the world know that. Why are you doing that? Why are you, how about in the old days? Remember when remember World War II, Frank Capra? You would see they would show some comedian said, oh, the planes of Germany and Japan. The Germany was, and the American is beautiful. And the Japanese always was this, like 2 or 3, the same actors, snarling. And they go, okay, Yankee Doodle Dandy. And you see this guy like Dana Andrews with a scarf. Well, not so fast there, Hirohito. What are they talking on? Well, they're the same frequency? How do they know where there's, and the canopy's open and the wind isn't, what are they? And the camera was so bad that whenever they would dip, they would just move the camera up. And all of a sudden, this guy, it was so bad. It's like, where is this? Then they would have all these. Anyway, I love when things just don't make any sense. Miranda warnings. Miranda warnings, they're fighting. They're fighting with the person. They finally get the cuffs on him. He starts reading Miranda. It's like, you're going to start questioning him now? You're both out of breath. He's out of breath. He can't even talk. You just beat the hell out of him. You read Miranda when you start questioning him. You're going to question him now? No, wait till later. But in TV, that's the signal. And people will always say, you didn't read me my rights. I'm not questioning you. Doesn't matter. It does matter. You can't do that. So, again, it's one of these things that just absolutely drives me. Oh, here's another one. How do I say this? How do I say this? Because Yuri's listening and he's young. I don't want him to be upset about this. Two people are making out. Now, I'm watching their hands, okay? Their hands, their face. Next thing you know, they're doing the act. I said, how did he get his pants off? I've been watching his hands the whole time. What are they, Velcro? And her. There's a little bit of, hang on a minute. Ow, wait a minute. Hang on, move it. No, not, get the, what's this dog doing here? You know, get away. You know what your dog licking, you know, it's just, life's a little more, shall we say, impromptu. Not on TV. The next thing you know, I also like, how do I say that? I want to be very nice. They'll be standing up against something. You know the angle you got to hit? It's like, first of all, I'm watching your hands. So you are denuded, and you have, you know, mission command, you know, the Houston, we have a problem. I mean, how did you do this? How did it happen so fast and then it's over? Remember the old joke, even an egg takes 3 minutes. That's it? And you're both in a sense of exhaustion and say, I don't know what you're doing there, okay? But one of us is doing this thing wrong. You're sitting there in a storage unit saying, not now. Let's wait till we get to the car. No, now. Look, lady, again, one of those things. What are the things in movies, among the other questions, that just, maybe perhaps it might be something from your role. Police love this. Something that has nothing to do with reality.
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.